Without, wait, you have to, wait, you have to like drop down.
know anybody that doesn't like kirtan. Everybody likes kirtan. Nobody was texting cell phone or everyone's absorbed. Nice. Are you two sisters?
No, we're friends.
Just friends. And what you're the Mridanga player for this event, or regularly you play together, or what?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You look like your own Mridanga too. Can I have a microphone? Is there a microphone?
Here.
You got the microphone in your hand. Can I have the microphone?
Yeah.
Here, just.
They are getting the microphone.
You want me to use that?
If
You don't want me to? I like this. You saw me try this before. Take that.
Doesn't take.
Who's our host? You. Is this your home?
What's that?
Is this your home?
Yes.
Thanks for inviting us. I may have to take that. Can I do this? Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hare Krishna.
No.
Okay. Okay, everybody settle down. There's a little bit of an echo. Echo. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Chundavadi Paschatya Satavine Jaya Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama The topic for this evening is what's going to be happening over the Thanksgiving. This is the introductory discussion of a retreat or a seminar on revisiting Rishikesh, Haridwar, and Badrinath. So I've been vigorously preparing, like a marathon of preparing for the past 3 weeks, morning till night, whenever there's a moment. And this is the introductory topic, Haridwar. How many here have been to Haridwar? Okay. Hari, Dwara means gate. So it's the gateway to the spiritual world. Hari, the abode of Hari. just like the verse in Sri Brahma Samhita. Golokanamni nitadamni tale jatasya Devi Maheshu Haridama Suteshu Teshu. So it's describing a hierarchy from Devi Dham to Mahesh Dham to Haridam to Golokadam in a hierarchy, spiritual hierarchy and vertical hierarchy of where the planets are, where the material and spiritual planets are situated. So the abode of Hari is Vaikuntha. So Haridwar is the gateway to Vaikuntha. It's a vast topic. I'm not going to go through everything because there's another 13 classes that will cover what I didn't cover, the details of which you didn't cover. Some of you are familiar with this phrase Chardam. And at the lower portion, you can see with a circle around it, Haridwar and Rishikesh, and keep going up and up and up and up and up. And there's Badrinath, and to the west slightly is Kedarnath, and then Gangotri and Yamunotri. So those are places that those that like to visit these four essential places in the northern region. And then there's the Char Dham, that same term applies to these four. On the upper portion, that's Badrinath. On the eastern coast, that's Puri. At the bottom, Rameshwaram. And at the left, of course, to the west, that's Dwarka. Those are four Char Dhams, well known in India today. And each of these four, it says, it is described about them, they all have the same feature. They help one to achieve Vaikuntha, or Haridam, the spiritual world. There's a verse, identical verse, both in Padma Purana and Skanda Purana, that lists these 7 cities that give liberation. Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, you'll see in a moment, Maya refers to Maya, Puri, or Haridwar, the abode of liberation. Kashi, Kanchi, Avantika, Avantipur, as you see down below, Avantipur. Avantipur is Ujjain, the place where Krishna went to school. Sandipani Muni's school in Avantipur, or Ujjain. Puri and Dwarka are the 7 cities which give liberation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur points to these 2 verses in his writings on Navadvip Dham Mahatmya because he wants everyone to understand that these 7 places are also in Navadvip. All 7 are in Navadvip. Amongst the 7 Mahatirthas, such as Ayodhya, Mathura, Maya, etc., Maya Tirtha exists in Haridwar in one form, and in a second form it resides in Goda. So you can visit Haridwar by going to Navadvip.
Okay.
Or Mayapur, Navadvip Dham. Many of you like Srimad Bhagavatam. And for those of you that like Srimad Bhagavatam, you know that there's 10 topics in Srimad Bhagavatam. The list of 10 topics is found very first verse of Canto 2, Chapter 10. Same exact list is found again in Canto 12. The 10 topics of the Bhagavatam, starting with Sarga, Visarga, Stanam, Bhoshanam, etc. I'll read them. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 divisions of statements regarding the following. The creation of the universe, Sarga. Subcreation, that's what Brahma does, Visarga. Sthanam, staying stationary, or the planetary systems when subcreation is done. Protection by the Lord, Poshanam. The creative impetus, the Shrishti Shakti of Lord Brahma. The Manus, Manvantaras, the creation of those. Nirodha Muktir Ashraya. Return back to God and liberation, and the Samabodhan, Ashraya. So down below, the change of Manus, the science of God, Isha Anukata, Nirodha, going back to Godhead, Mukti, liberation, or Haridwar, and Ashraya, the Samabodhan. These are terms that are identified in commentaries by our acharyas commenting on this verse and the 12th canto verse. There are different names for Haridwar besides Haridwar. Haridwar is located on the west bank of the Ganges, at the foothills of the Himalayas, 225 kilometers northeast of Delhi. So most people know about where's Delhi. Go ahead. This is one of the ISKCON rituals, the garlanding ritual. Like this in church. Okay. Haridwar is known by many other names. Ganga Dwar, or the gateway to the Ganges. Swarga Dwar, the gate to reach Swarga. Maya Puri is the name associated with the goddess Maya Devi. We'll see her picture and her temple and everything. She's in Haridwar. One of the presiding deities of Haridwar. And the spelling is sometimes different. Hardwar, the gate to reach Lord Shiva's place in Kedarnath. There's other names. Kapila Sthana, the abode of Kapila Dev. Kusha Varta, the place in Haridwar where Vidura met Maitreya. We're going to see images and hear a little bit more about each of these. So here's the goddess Maya. She is three-headed and four arms, and an incarnation of Shakti. Shakti meaning the spiritual potency. And so just as the spiritual potency has her expansion to material potency, Shakti has her expansion, goddess Maya. Haridwar is known as Maya Puri in reference to this deity. So here's a closer up photograph of the deity. And on either side of the deities, there are additional deities, indicating, very clearly this is the place, this is Haridwar. Now, in Shiva, there's a few references. I'm going to read those references in Srila Prabhupada's writings. One of them is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Here's the translation of chapter 20, verse number 219. This is Lord Chaitanya's instructions to Sanatana Goswami. That's the section. The Lord is situated in all the universes in different forms, just to please his devotees. Thus, the Lord destroys irreligious principles and establishes religious principles. And Prabhupada's purport. In the material world, the Lord is situated in different archa murtis, or deities, in the temples, just to decrease the material activities of the conditioned soul and increase his spiritual activities. Particularly in India, there are many temples throughout the country. Devotees may take advantage of them and go see the Lord at Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan, Prayag, Mathura, Haridwar, and Vishnu Kanchi. when the devotees travel to these places and see the Lord, they become very happy in devotional service. And true. The number of pilgrims is astounding, and the joy that the devotees have being in those holy places is also astounding. Now there's just four references, there's more, but he presented here 4 references from Prabhupada's writing. Canto 5, chapter 17. After, this is the structure of the universe section, Canto 5. After purifying the 7 planets near Dhruvaloka, the Ganges water is carried through the spaceways of the demigods in billions of celestial airplanes. Then it inundates the moon and finally reaches Lord Brahma's abode atop Mount Meru. So Lord Brahma has several abodes. It's all the way to the top of the universe, but there's the top of Mount Meru that's not at the top of the universe. It's the top of Mount Meru. And Brahma has some residence there, his summer home. In this way, the water of the Ganges finally reaches the lower planets and the peaks of the Himalayas. And from there, it flows through Haridwar and throughout the plains of India, purifying the entire land. Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 17. Here's Canto 5, Chapter 8, translation. This is Bharat Maharaj in Rishikesh. Residing in ashram, his residence, his ashram, where he achieved Bhava Bhakti, was in Haridwar, Pulaha Ashram. The great Maharaj was now very careful not to fall victim to bad association. Without disclosing his past to anyone, he remained in that ashram and ate dry leaves only. This is Jat Bharat. He was not exactly alone, for he had the association of the super soul. In this way, he waited for death in the body of a deer. There we go, body of a deer. Bathing in that holy place, he finally gave up his body, gave up that body. Holy places like Vrindavan, Haridwar, and Jagannath Puri are especially meant for service. These are places where you remember the Lord. In these places, you go to like Krishna consciousness, topmost yoga system. These are excerpts from lectures. In India, therefore, those who are very serious about practicing yoga go to Haridwar, a very secluded place in the Himalayas, where they remain alone. A very restricted process for eating and sleeping. There's no question of mating. And final reference, this is Canto 1, Chapter 13. No, there's 2 more references. Like Vrindavan, Haridwar, Jagannath Puri, and Prayag, there are many great devotees, and there are still free kitchen houses for persons who desire to advance spiritually. So in other words, they don't have to worry about their meals, because there are persons who want to feed pilgrims or the sadhus that reside in these places. From Canto 9, Chapter 9. This is the Descent of the Ganges chapter, Canto 9. Mother Ganges is available to everyone for bathing, therefore, not only will sinful persons bathe in the Ganges water, but in Haridwar and other holy places where the Ganges flows, saintly